Good morning, this is Peter from the Mindful Share Trader blog with my weekly update of the markets and some of the stocks as well. And I'm going to start this morning with the S&P 500 weekly. Okay, and we can see here we've got all of our kind of climactic action here. A bit of this test down here. We dropped down out of this downtrend channel. It's in place. And we've now pushed up through our supply resistance zone, and we're heading towards this next resistance up here at about 2044. Okay, so we'll have to see what happens in the next week. This bar here going up on less volume could be viewed as no demand, but I tend to think it's probably more of a bit of a test back into this area on low volume. So we might see some higher prices from here, but I'm not sure how much further. I think it's going to meet quite strong resistance here. So if we get a little narrow spread bar in here this week on increased volume, watch out. Okay, so we'll have a look at we'll go to the daily. Oh, actually, just one other thing on that weekly chart. RSI looking to break up above the 50% line as well. I'm not actually sure if it has or not. It's hard to tell. If I zoom in on this, it looks like it has, and if I zoom out, it looks like it hasn't. So not definitive yet. Hopefully by next week we'll know that for sure. Okay, on the daily, we can see clearly with this push up through this supply resistance zone here, and then we've hit this resistance here, come back down, tested this, and then bounced off of it. Now the spread has shortened as it's moving up. You can see that here. The volume's still reasonable up there, so we've got a bit of supply coming in here, I think, which is to be expected as we get up in this area. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of days next week. Whether we push up through this down trend channel into this next area up here and start ranging, it's hard to tell. I tend to think we will still kind of come up and pull back down yet before we make a concerted move up. I mean, the corrections always take a lot longer than this one has taken so far, but you know, this is the market and it can really do anything, and we trade it and react to it as we see it, not try and guess it. Okay, and then on to the gold weekly chart. We had a bit of a push up on gold this week, and again it's broken the RSI 50% line there. Still in a downtrend though, we can see that clearly here, and it will probably find some resistance on this midline of the channel here, and we'll have to see if it pushes up through there. We go to the daily. We can see on the daily there's a little small uptrend channel here, and it's coming up towards the top of the supply line here on that, and also it's here. So again, I think it's going to hit some resistance here, and we could see it pull back down again. So I mean, if gold pulls back down here, we could see the markets head up higher. They generally go in opposite directions, but not always. Okay, then we've got oil. We can see the oil, hard to tell what's happening here. We've got two possible channels. We've got a long-term downtrend channel, which is the green one, and we've got a long-term uptrend channel, which is this purple one, which looks like at the moment is being back-tested. And you know, the other thing is we've got a divergence here on the RSI, as I said last week, so we could see some, more upward movement because of that. And then we've got a lot of volume down here as well, and that, that's got to be buying in there as far as I can see it. So I think the likelihood is that the prices will push up from here, but it'll probably go sideways in a range for a while. And we can see on the daily chart here, we've got this triangle that's formed with the price action here, so we need to wait and see which way that's going to break on that as well. But we have broken this downtrend line. We've come up and then come back and tested that. And again, the RSI here looking to kind of move up into the positive territories. I'm kind of more inclined to think that the prices will move up from here. Okay, and then we'll have a look at Apple. On Apple, not a big change since last week, really. Still in the downtrend. Here we've got a bit of no demand pushing up here. RSI still down below 50, so nothing much there on the weekly. And then on the daily, again, we're coming into this bit of an apex here, so we should see a break either way. We're also trapped in a sideways range here too, bounded by this resistance zone and support zone here. So again, we've got to wait for the break and see which way it goes on that too. Then we've got the STI, Singapore Times Index here. And we can see that we broke down out of this downtrend channel quite severely through here. A lot of volume coming in. We've made a climactic kind of low here, and then it's pushed up now. The spread has shortened here, right in this support resistance zone here. So it's encountering some more supply here on quite high volume. So chances are it's going to come back down and test this area before it pushes up. And if we have a look in closer on the daily, we've got a bit of a divergence on the RSI here. So that might be why we've had this bit of a push up. But again, you can see here, this is kind of going up on very low volume on those last 3 bars, and it's looking a bit kind of sickly there. So it could hit this and pull down. It's got to get back up into this channel, really back up above this area here to be looking like a buy for me. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching, and I hope it's been of some help to you. Feel free to share this on your social media if you found it useful. For notifications of all my free content, subscribe to my blog at www.mindfulsharetrader.com. The link's at the top of the screen there, and the big yellow subscribe button will subscribe you to my YouTube channel. I'll be back in about 2 weeks with this weekly update because I'm off overseas for a while. Safe trading, and catch you then.